Welcome back. I'm still James. This is still the Talon-Axe Armory. When we get into this hobby, we start to buy things that other people don't buy. And a lot of that is blasters, sure, but the other thing, as we talked about in the last video, is tactical gear. And the first two pieces of tactical gear, basically everybody buys, should happen in one order, but tend to happen in the reverse. The order they should happen in is a good dump pouch, and then a holster. The order they almost always happen in is a holster, and then a dump pouch. And holsters are cool. I get it, right? It's fun to be able to clear your sidearm from a holster on your hip, or on your leg, or however you prefer to carry it. But today I'm here to say, holsters are stupid, and we should all move to something better. Okay, so to be fair, holsters aren't actually stupid. They're really good at what they do. The problem is, there's very few holsters that are specifically designed to carry extremely large frame hardware. And the bulk of what we play with is going to be large frame hardware. Sure, you have some outliers like the Fire Rat and things that have a real steelish silhouette that will fit real nice in a standard holster. But quickly, you're going to get into things that don't fit in these holsters because their shape is weird, or they have an unusual priming mech, or they have flywheel bulge, or whatever. So how do you get around this problem? Talking about holsters. The answer is, get out of holsters and get into magnets. So, as you can see here, this has two magnets mounted on a plate, screwed into the side, alongside the actual plate that secures the blaster together. And those clip into magnets on my hip. And they're secure, and I can jump up and down, and I can do crazy things, and I can run around, and they carry them very well. I use them with everything from these, fairly lightweight flywheelers out of the Flycore system, and even my nail biter, which weighs nothing because it's just plastic and some elastic. But I also use it for my big, heavy fly-point pistol, and I use a pair of them in an older rig for these, my hammer shots. And yeah, it's a hammer shot. These aren't all tuned up. They're maybe 80 feet per second with the metal kit and all that good stuff, but they make me feel like a cowboy, so I like them. These are a classic. They're an HVZ standby. But again, as soon as you start to put these goofy barrel accessories and stuff you can buy online on them, they're not going to fit in a holster. They're not going to fit in a pocket. They're going to fit in a 3D printed solid holster, which are very cool, and I like them a lot. They do wonderful work. But what they will fit in is a magnetic rig. In my case, all of my magnetic rigs have moved to Armstrong accessories. Originally, I had holsters, right? The original holster system as built by Camster's Blasters. And Camster went out of business, and then those went to Out of Darts and Lotus System, right? Armor carries them under Lotus System. And they're good. They're very nice. They're great work. I don't have a problem with them. But for me, the difference between something good and something great in this hobby almost entirely comes down to communication between you and the designer, or you and the design team in the case of some things. And Jay at Armstrong Accessories will communicate with you every step of the way. When I wanted to have the first one made, which is the one that's here on my right, I reached out to Jay and I told him I was having problems with my 3D printer, and if I paid extra, could he print them for me? Because he only sells files normally. He said, yeah, and he gave me a very honest appraisal. He said, do you need the magnets? And I said, yeah, I don't have any. He said, well, then it'll cost this much, and gave me a fair breakdown. And I said, okay. And then he worked with me every step of the way. And then once I got the holster in my hands, Jay checked in. Hey, how are you doing? And then we've worked together several times to build things like this one for the nail biter. And anything I could need, he's always willing to talk. One of the things I want to put together, and I need to circle back with him on, is I really want to build one with the big magnets that I can pull comfortably the fly point pistol across my front and have it be in a comfortable place. I don't know how to do that. I don't have that much knowledge of how holsters should be angled, how real steel firearms would be sheathed or holstered, and I want that cowboy cross pull Doc Holliday and Tombstone thing for it. And he's like, well, sure, let's talk about it. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, and I just need to circle back to get it done. The other thing he's a big fan of is not reinventing the wheel. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So, this is the holster up close, right? And it's got these two fidlock magnets, and they're on a slight angle because they pull better off an angle. Straight up and down doesn't work as well. And they're screwed into these Blade Tech bars, right? Which slide into your molly and click shut. So there's no 3D printed plastic. There's no weird little shims or problematic buckles with little metal snaps that get caught on the molly on its way in and out. So it's a cleaner system in a lot of ways. And the other thing is you feel cool, right? You have that rule of cool. You have magnets holding blasters to your body like some kind of sci-fi space marine. And it has the added bonus of if you're playing outside, sure, the cop might stop. But when the cop sees that you're wearing your Hawaiian shirt and you have a bright blue thing on your hip and it's on magnets, people don't carry firearms on magnets. They just don't do it. Not on their hip. You might see them in other purposes, but I've never seen anybody holster a firearm on their hip with a magnet. So I guess this is the first time that I'm doing shouting with product placement in Shouting at Clouds. And I'm shouting product placement for Jay, for Armstrong Accessories, because I like Armstrong Accessories. I like the magnets. I like the way they make me look, and I like the way they make me feel. The only issue I have with them is the issue I have with any of thing in this gear, which is it makes me slightly wider, so I don't fit through doors as well. But that's true of a holster too. So, this is the Talon Axe Armory. Go buy fun holsters. I think you all should. These are great. And have a nice day. Okay, ready? Magnet to mag dump. It's that fast. Like, that's how good it is. Get a Meowser, put it on some magnets, profit.